Welcome along, it's race day. We are heading off to Japan and Suzuka, hopefully trying to bring these Kick Sauber teams to the front of the grid, one race at a time. But we are kind of being hindered at the moment, and you might think, well, why? Where is our pace going to come from? Our long runs have been tough, our short runs in qualifying have been brilliant at times. How do we get the pace? Now, we'll just give you a little bit of an insight as to what's going on in our team at the moment. So you will notice that we have got a change going on next month. On the 5th, we have got the factory upgrade. So we are waiting the factory upgrade. That is still 4 weeks away. And why is that important? That is because we cannot manufacture more than 2 projects at the moment. So we've got parts, we've got stuff to add to the car. We just don't have the time to manufacture it because we don't have that extra spot. So we're crucial to that element. Now, let me show you some of the stuff. You've seen what we're currently manufacturing at the moment, a chassis and a suspension. Chassis being ready in 3 days' time for one of the cars. Now, if we look at our car parts, and I'm going to show you, look at this suspension. Look at the stat increase that we are going to gain from that part. You can see it's a huge gain, and that is why I'm really not too bothered about Japan. It's going to be all about the race coming up after. And also, look at the side pod upgrade here that we've got. Another really good performance increase for the low and medium where we've been targeting. So that is interesting. That is what we've got to wait for. We're low on the money. So we've got to either get some performance-based results or we need our $1 million paydays. Here we go then. Nico Hülkenberg starting with a car that is 17th on the grid in terms of performance. So we want to finish in the top 16. I'm going to bring it down for Bortoleto with a car that's 18th with an overall rating of 18th. We're heading off to Japan, where top speed is great for the straight, but you need that low to high speed as well. Here we go. Suzuka and round number 3, Japan. Here we go. Light rain in the race. That might mean that we don't need all the tyres, so we might be able to use a bit more in qualifying. But we're going to skip through practice, and we'll be back for Q1. Here we go then. Welcome to Q1. Let's get this started, baby, as we look to get Hülkenberg, Bortoleto definitely through Q1. We've been pretty good at that. We want to get them into QT2 or at least Q3. Now, we're going to send Hülkenberg out in that bright green Kick Sauber. Of course, how could you miss them? Let's put our first lap in and see how we perform. We shouldn't get blocked by anybody. Behrman, Antonelli coming out. That is probably going to kill us, like it always does. We always find back markers on this game. Hülkenberg slots into P4, slowest time, 6 tenths off Stroll, which is never good. And what about Bortoleto, who goes 4 tenths off, so not too bad of a lap time early on. Okay, here we go. Final run time here in Japan. And we are currently in Q1, P5 and P12 after an improvement on the softs used tyres. So here we go. It is time to see what we can do. Can we get both cars through? We're in a good position, but look at Bortoleto. You would expect Lawson, Piastri, Antonelli and Hamilton all to come past. So this is very much still in the hands of the gods when it comes to qualifying. Oh, God, here we go again. Luckily, it's only Hülkenberg getting held up because he, I think, is going to be safe. I feel like Bortoleto then is going to meet that car as well. No improvement, 31-1. 31-1, get him at... Oh, he's got him at the great time. That is perfect. Bortoleto getting a little bit of luck as we come through the hairpin. Come on, then. 3 cars are finished. Piastri, Tsunoda, Hajar. Piastri on the cusp. He could be out early on in qualifying. 36.4 through the middle sector. Loads of cars. 36.6. It's actually not the worst time for Hülkenberg. As Hülkenberg comes across the line, he does improve to 4th. Bortoleto comes across the line now as well. Improves to 5th. And that sees us through Q1. What a performance already from the Kick Sauber, Bortoleto and Hülkenberg. And that sees Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Hajar, Jack Doohan all out in Q1. That is a big, big shock for Oscar Piastri in the McLarens, but a huge shock maybe for the Kick Sauber team who are sat in 5th and 6th. Now, we are going to be using some used soft tyres for our first runs in this session. Remember, rain in the race, apparently, light rain. So, let's get back out again. Let's wait until a few cars go. There we go. Let's send Hulkenberg and Bortoleto. And what we want to do is get our first lap time in. We'll skip through and come back for the times of the fresh softs. So, where can we put us with used set of tyres? Hulkenberg slots into 5th. Bortoleto, having the upper hand again, gets back into 5th. Hulkenberg looked like he got some sort of traffic. 1.7 seconds off Verstappen. So here we go. Q2, final run time. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be too happy if he was Lawson. We are blocking him all the way. And Bortoleto behind. Hopefully Lawson doesn't try a move. And maybe he's on an in-lap, actually, Lawson, potentially. He's not warming up or anything. Let's see what happens with Lawson, though. He's not warming any tyres up, so hopefully he's going to come into the pits. And he's not going to try a lunge. And he is, thankfully. Okay, here we go, then. No traffic in front. Just cars that are not going to get in the way, hopefully. As now, oh no, that is a Haas. Oh, it gets out of the way. Beautiful. Okay, so 14th and 10th. We've got to find improvement then. As we go on board with Hulkenberg, coming through Sector 1. New tyres on, 30.9. That is pretty decent. What about Bortoleto, 30.9 as well, matching in the first sector. Come on, we need the pace. We need to get through. Still, we're on the cusp at the moment. 1.6 seconds off, though. Hulkenberg coming through Sector 2 now, and he does a 36.3. For Bortoleto, it's a 36.4. These are evenly matched. Where's it going to put us? There's a big gap between 5th and 6th, or there was, as across the line, P7 for Hulkenberg. What about Bortoleto, though, who comes across the line and goes P8? But that is our final run done.
How's it looking?
I mean, there's not many improvers out there. Are we going to survive? We are. Come on, both cars into Q3. That is huge. And when light rain in the race potentially as well, could be anything. Both cars into the top 10. The problem is our race pace sucks, but our qualifying is brilliant. P8, P9. It is Q3 time. Now, new soft tyres available. I'm going to use the used for the first run, of course. And we're in Q3. This is different for both cars. I don't know if we've had both cars into Q3 yet. I don't think we have. So, it is time to get these guys racing. We're going to skip through the first lap. See where we position ourselves. And then what we're going to do is get on to our lap time with the new softs. So, where can we put ourselves as we come through? Hulkenberg 9/10 off Russell. And Bortoleto 1.7. Must have got blocked again. He's had a shocker of a lap. So these come down. The question is, should we really take new softs? But with light rain in the race, I think it's worth it. You get an extra set in qualifying. So, but we're really only going to be fighting for 1 or 2 positions here. That is all we're fighting for. So really, you could argue that it's not worth the risk. There's now Albon. I want to wait until Albon comes past now. So I'm going to send Hulkenberg. And I'm going to send our other car. So we have Verstappen ahead of us. No traffic. We've waited nicely. Now we're going to go on board. Here we go. Q3 for the first time, I think, for both cars. Bright green. Watch us come. Here we go. It's the start of the lap time. Here comes Nico Hulkenberg across the straight with a distant slipstream from Verstappen, the sole remaining Red Bull in this qualifying session. 5 seconds to go. This is going to be the end of qualifying runs for Q3. Who is going to get pole? Russell by 5. Russell now goes into P1 by 2/10. Great lap. Hulkenberg doesn't improve out front though. 31.2 and a 30.9 again for Bortoleto. So who can challenge Russell at the front? Antonelli 7/10 off. Alonso slots himself into P8. We are now demoted to P9 and P10. But as we come down the straight, improvement 36.4. 36.4. It's a better lap from Bortoleto. A couple of attempts up. Can we upset Alonso and get back through? Hulkenberg racing to the line. Can't improve. Bortoleto can improve, but misses out just. Alonso stays 8th. It's Verstappen on pole by 700/10 of a second. Verstappen takes P1. And we did a 26.6, 26.8. We have seen better times, but it would only have been good enough for P8. You know what? I'm not too disappointed. I can't be, because that is a brilliant qualifying session. 53 laps to come. Light rain in the race. Okay. We're going to be starting on inters, ladies and gentlemen, with a chance to softs or dries at the end. So let's take a look. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's look at this strategy. I mean, that is on aggression as well, which is interesting. I'm going to move that to standard. Move that to standard. I don't think I'm going to be coming in just yet. I think it's going to be more like that. And then, obviously, Bortoleto has used his soft tyres, I think. That is my problem here. I'm going to move these back. I know I will probably run faster. But I think Bortoleto doesn't have any real softs left. So Wally will be mediums on aggression. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Rain in the race. We're going to have intermediates to start. I mean, I would argue that do I not need wet tyres? But it goes to inters. It goes to 80% quite quickly. Should I really be starting on the wet tyres? I can't risk one driver. I'm going to go inters. But it's got heavy rain. I don't know what to do. So here we go. I was so tempted to start on the wet tyres. I am hoping my weather centre have not killed my chances here. Okay, inters for the Red Bull on pole. Inters for Russell in P2. So we look like we're on the right tyre. I was very, very contemplating whether or not to go to the wets. But here we go. Our first wet race of the season. 5 lights. And they're out. It's Verstappen who leads away. George Russell from the front of the grid with Hamilton and Leclerc slotting in behind. Antonelli on the outside as we go into turn 1. And as they come through cleanly, Hamilton on the outside of Russell has to slot back. And that means a quick little break then from Verstappen and Russell. Hamilton seemingly struggling early on. We've got Antonelli 4th, Leclerc 5th, Norris 6th, Alonso in 7th. Looking back to the Kick Saubers then, they are slotted right behind Albon in 8th place and Bortoleto in 10th. Now, Sainz has picked up some damage at the back of the grid with a small collision, and we'll see if that happens. Sainz does have damage, but we don't see the replay just yet of that accident. So we all slot down, lap 1, coming to the hairpin. Verstappen leads from George Russell in 2nd, Hamilton 3rd. Now, these are trying to stretch clear early on, but Russell closes up to the back of Max Verstappen. Now, remember, Max Verstappen is the first one to come to each corner for the conditions of this race. And I tell you what, Bortoleto has had a little bit of a struggle. He's wet racing in F1, very, very limited to this point. And he is trying to hold on, whereas Hulkenberg, the master of wet conditions, is bang there, currently in P9, trying to keep hold of Alex Albon. And yes, it is a case of the moment. Just going to go down to aggressive on the tyres. But Bortoleto is really struggling here. He's got a big gap, 2.2 already. If anything, you could say he's protecting Hulkenberg for some points, maybe. And I'm going to just put the defensive approach on Bortoleto. Because I tell you what, if we can keep these behind and create Hulkenberg a gap, that would be nice as well. We go to neutral on the ERS on lap number 2. Only on lap 2 at the moment. And this is looking good. Remember, no DRS in wet conditions as well. But we're still going to be keeping pace. Bortoleto is using full ERS system then as well, and still is struggling. Here comes Gasly down the straight then. No DRS available, but is catching all the time. Bortoleto goes for defence and holds on. 2.5 seconds is now the gap. That is huge. Should have probably ran some lower fuel based on the wet conditions as well, but we live and learn. Now the track on lap 3 is slowly drying. See there, it's at 1.56 and falling at the moment. Albon has just got out of a second, just hovering around that second. And here comes Hulkenberg on the back of him as well. So Hulkenberg really relishing these conditions early on as we come through the middle sectors to start the 3rd sector. And Albon, he's really detached now. Albon slipping away from Alonso. It's time to push Hulkenberg. Can we get a move outside of DRS? And what an acceleration. Move to the right, cheek to the left. Can we get through? We go over the top into turn 1. And he does defend well, Alex Albon. There is no way past there. We have to fight another day. But maybe something that's due to come. Bortoleto still holding on a little bit out there. 2 seconds. Managed to fill the gap to 8 tempters. Lawson does battle Gasly, and that means that Bortoleto can absolutely push away. Now, I'm going to push because I feel like this is an opportunity, and Albon is really struggling here. We've got to find a way past Alex. He is holding us up. Now, Bortoleto, we have absolutely pushed, and look at the gap already. 2.1 as a move. We didn't see that one. We went for the overtake. Couldn't get it. Albon struggling massively here. Acceleration out of the final corner. We move to the right. Switch back to the left. It's a repeat of lap 4. Any move. Round the outside. Oh, what a move. What? Oh, no. He couldn't defend it. I thought that was a beautiful move. It wasn't. Alex Albon, defending for his life, hangs on. Now, look at the gap. Gasly has dropped 2.3 seconds behind. We've got Hülkenberg still right on the back of Albon, seemingly still unable to make a move, and Albon is struggling out there. We have used a lot more tyres than everybody else at the moment, and here we go down the straight. Alex Albon has been dispatched. We are into P number 8. What is the gap that we need to find? Hülkenberg needs to top up as well. So he's got the gap, 5 tenths, 1.7 now back. Bortoleto's got 2.4. This is looking pretty tasty at the moment. And we have drying conditions. Drying conditions here on lap number 8. What we want to do, just check the weather then. Because what is happening? This is showing that it's going to be staying wet and all the way dry till the end of the race. But we have got drying conditions. Now, the question is, what do people do? Do people come into the pits or do they carry on? Now, we're going to push again. Albon is all over the back of Hülkenberg, who we're trying to just look after the tyres. Fastest laps are improvement. And we don't have the best tyres. Here comes Albon. And we are, a reminder, P8 and P10 at the moment on lap 9. Keeping them at bay. Bortoleto has got Gasly now right behind. So Bortoleto seemingly has fell away again. And he's struggling. But we're going to try and get these tyres. DRS massively helping us right now. But we're P8 and P10. And we have got a virtual safety car. The VSC has been triggered. And it doesn't look like it's to do with us. It's Yuki Tsunoda who is out of this race. Let's have a look. He crashed on turn 9. On his own. End of sector 1. Oh, he loses it on entry to the corner. Gets on probably the curb. Accelerates too hard. And Yuki Tsunoda is out. VSC, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that is not a safety car. Now, I don't think... We can't really pit now. It would be a nice cheap pit stop. Don't think it's the right time. We're going to conserve down, though. Under VSC conditions. We've got Albon 5 to 8 tenths back. Bortoleto 9.4 at the moment. It would have been a nice pit stop, you know. But we would be quite challenged late on. Now what we're going to do is move the tyres back to standard because we want to keep the heat, but we'll look after the fuel and the energy. And the problem is, because we're in this phase, tyres cannot get up to temperature. They are cooling down. We've entered the pit window, and we have got VSC to end. So VSC to end on this lap. We're going to make sure everything is deployed. And here we go. Race resumed. Virtual safety car has ended. And now we've got loads of fuel, cold tyres. It is time to push. Now, Bortoleto's still holding on to that P10 position, and he's got Piastri and Lawson behind him. So he's going to do well, but already he's pulled a very big gap for Hülkenberg to sit in P8. And Hülkenberg has just about dropped Alex Albon here. He's got his tyres up to temperature. Going to sit back on neutral now, because I'm not too concerned about him. Because he hasn't got DRS. It's a little bit harder to overtake. Lap 16 sees us in a really good position, but it also sees Piastri getting through on Bortoleto. So Bortoleto now drops out of the points. Lawson, look at the top speed from our Kick Sauber. I told you it was good. And that is why cars are struggling to overtake. Albon right on the back of Hülkenberg as well. With no one behind us for the Williams. And he is really pushing. Really pushing. But at the minute, 3 tenths of a second. What a battle this is. So Bortoleto, lap 17, is definitely struggling here because he's dropped down to... He's got 59% on the tyre management. He's quite similar to everyone else. But Stroll now gets Bortoleto as well. So he's just really dropped off the pace. Now what I might do is attack... Try and hold these two. If these two get by, I kind of feel like I want to go for an early stop. Because we are definitely struggling. Hulkenberg has still got Alex Albon behind though. Again, Albon really looked after his tyres. Here comes Alex Albon. Can he get a move? He can't. We stay ahead. I tell you what, if DRS ever comes available, we are going to be in trouble. And here we go. I told you Bortoleto started to make some movements on tyres as the pit crew start to get ready. We're in the pit window. And now, as soon as we start pushing, we've got some bit more pace as the Aston Martin tries to outdrag us down the straight as we go into turn 1. And I tell you what, Bortoleto, that is a move of a future world champion. Turn 1, didn't get outbraved, absolutely went for it, and he finds himself through. He has got to P12. Now we're going to continue to push the tyres here because I believe we are coming into a pit window. So we are coming into a pit window now. Hulkenberg is 8th. We are on the optimal lap time for him. And a lot of the cars out there carry on. Now what I might do is, I feel like I want to pull him in. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Pit now for Bortoleto. Let's get Bortoleto in. Because I feel like get him out of the fight. Get him in some clean air. And that could be beautiful. And we've got quite a few pit stops. Stroll, Sainz. Now Hulkenberg got to pit this lap. Because he could be in a little bit of trouble. But we're going to keep on pushing. The stop for Bortoleto. 2.9 and gets held. Lawson and Stroll. That didn't work. That hasn't worked. That's too slow of a pit time. Has absolutely cost us here. And now the outlap is absolutely decisive because we've got them cars ahead of us that were. Now, look at this. Hulkenberg closing on Alonso. We've put a lot of pace into this stint to come onto the in-lap. And we've gained that to 1.1. Now, some of the cars around do continue on. Alonso does as well. So here we go. It's time for an undercut for Hulkenberg. Let's take a look. Bortoleto has got some good pace on this outlap. Here we go. Come on, good time. Not great. 2.9. Where is Sainz? Sainz goes on. But we're going to get ahead of, surely, Ocon. And we do. So a nice little bit of gap here. Now what we're going to try and do is the undercut on Fernando Alonso to get us some more points. So a nice little push initially from Bortoleto. And now Hulkenberg. I'm going to attack a little bit. Remember, 25 seconds, let's call it, to Albon. And at the minute, it's only about 18, 19 seconds. We'll absolutely push him. I want to get these tyres up to temperature. DRS enabled as well. DRS enabled. Is this really going to be slick weather? It's surely not. Maybe we've peaked too soon here. As the tyres get up to temperature. This is interesting. What do we got? Tyres a lot better. Are they going to go for the one stop? Then. This is interesting. What's the lap times? I can't see the lap times. Bortoleto did a 39.4. Which is still not great. We are closing in on Sainz. But are we on the wrong tyres? Jack Doohan's just gone for Inters. This track is drying out. Now, Alex Albon is in the pits. And I tell you what, look at the jump Hulkenberg's going to get by that undercut. Wow, that is beautiful. Hulkenberg is going to get a lovely gap. 5 seconds. But we have got to get past Carlos Sainz. And tell you what, we might jump Piastri, but I feel like they're waiting for the dries. Those cars out front. Gasly's just got Bortoleto, who's still in the race, wet conditions as well, struggling. And we're going to try and get past here the Williams. Look at the pace as we try and go round the outside. That can't happen. But maybe down the straight as we empty the ERS system. And we are going to get past. We are into P9. So P9 is wow, I thought we were in P9. We have to squeeze him. Sainz on the acceleration somehow. On better traction. 56% tyres. Yeah, how does that one work out? He's doing a job for Albon at the moment, but still, we're about 19 seconds off Piastri. The track is getting wetter, though. Track is getting wetter as we try, and we've got to get past Sainz here. Got to. 4.5 seconds is the gap now. Track is getting wetter and wetter. We're about to probably lose DRS as we go up the inside. Track changed to damp. That is probably why he came flying back through. So, we're going to push down the straight to get past 3.5 now. We've got to get past Sainz as we go to the right. And finally, I think we can say we're past. We are. That took far too long. We've lost about a second, 1.4 seconds overall. And now, we've got to push. Now, fastest lap has just been done by Behrman. And he is on inters. So, still no crossover yet for the dries. And now Sainz is over a second behind. These are definitely holding out for dry tyres, I think, some of these cars out here. Which is going to be an interesting one. Because they've still got 50-60%. So we're on the 2-stop, though. But it's Hulkenberg 9th and Bortoleto dropping backwards in 16th. So this is where it gets interesting. The rain has stopped. And it's about, I mean, they've all managed, the front runners, to basically go for a one-stop here. They have all managed it. Look at the tyres difference. We've got to push these wet intermediates now because they are not going to be lasting. Now, question is, as a safety car is deployed, Sainz has binned it. That is huge. Now, the question is, we've got to go to dry tyres here. Got to go to dry tyres. But can we go to mediums? I think we might be able to just do the mediums. We can't really push much, though. I tell you what, it's faster to go to the hards. It's faster to go to hard tyres here. So we've got to get these back. We've got to be pitting under safety car conditions. Let's go to hards. Bring that back in. I'll tell you what, tyres don't look great for him either. And there you go. That's what we've got to do. We have got to pit them cars. So, Bortoleto, hard tyres. Hard tyres. I'll tell you what, the front runners, this is what they've all been waiting for. Let's have a look to see if we can see the incident that Sainz has. Did he just retire? He did. He just broke down. Maybe he did have some early damage. Or early problems, and he is out. So Sainz retires, everybody has now pitted. And the problem is, earlier on, we got a massive gap nicely. Now, we don't. We could be in a bit of trouble. Because now we've got the rest of the field with us, and the soft and mediums out there. Now, our 20 laps, you would argue, surely the mediums can work. But maybe we can just attack instead. Maybe I've played a little bit of a problem there. Yep. But maybe we should have gone for mediums. Have we thrown away a chance? Because, of course, we're under safety car conditions. Okay. But, you know what? Ocon's already locked up. We're going to have good tyres. Nonetheless, softs surely. Okay, safety car is about to end. So let's get ready to push for cars. Here we go. Okay, so everything is on push. We are in 9th place at the moment. Okay. It's follow the leader time. As the safety car is about to end, we're racing, it's green, the Red Bull leads us off Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Antonelli, Piastri, Alonso, Hulkenberg and Albon are your top 10. And we know these hard tyres can take a little bit more to basically get the heat through the cycle. Yellow flag already out there. And I can't see, that was Behrman locking up at turn 1. Behrman at the back of the grid at the minute in P number 18. So he's not really affecting much now. Albon is on soft tyres. That is a long way to go for soft tyres, I must say. A VSC now. VSC. What has happened now in this race? It is Bearman. He had a lock-up on turn 1. And a turn 1 lock-up. Was it the same place that Yuki lost it early on? He does. Carries too much speed into the corner. Loses it. And that is a VSC then. So Bearman retires. Now that almost means Bearman is going to get... Bortoleto is going to get his finishing position. Of his sponsor objectives. And we come round again. I tell you what, this is helping everybody's tyres. Because ultimately, our hards should have been last in the best. And now, everyone's softs and mediums are going. It's like the AI knew that that was going to be the case. As now we get racing again. Albon hunting down Hulkenberg. But let's see how we go with this. We're going to go aggressive. An attack, of course. Loads of fuel. And Hulkenberg is on the back of the medium tyre at the moment. He's got them tyres up to pace. I'm going to just drop back to standard. Bortoleto has got them up to pace as well. But I kind of feel like our tyres, if we can look after them, will get better later in this race. Because everyone is going to get a bigger drop-off compared to these hards. And if we can keep within, like we're doing at the moment, 7 tenths to Alonso, and that is getting closer. DRS enabled as we come down the straight, and that is us right behind. I'm going to top up while we're sitting behind as well. I just don't want to lose too much though. And are we going to lose too much? I think we might. So already a second. But we need them to sort of Constantina effect up where we can gain that back. I'm going to have to deploy to try and close with both cars. Everybody is just pushing far too much at the moment. We can see Hulkenberg's already dropped 2 seconds. Albon now right behind us. He's going to be a sitting duck, surely. As Bortoleto goes backwards, but he's coming back at the Haas. Again, it's his medium tyres that are faster. And we're going to struggle to hold on here. Here comes Alex Albon with the pace of the soft tyres. Good defence by Hulkenberg. Holds on to 9th. This safety car, as Bortoleto now gets through, has absolutely going to cost us here. Because we were doing fine. We had a massive gap. We did that at the start of the race with Bortoleto. And now we're in trouble. And we are in trouble. Albon just got us down the straight with DRS. We don't have a lot to handle here. The only thing we've got to hope is them tyres in 11 laps time really do struggle. And that we can get the pace back up. Because everybody is pushing. Yellow flag again here. I think that's one of the maybe front runners. Jack Doohan running ride on turn 13. Bortoleto is 15th. Stroll, I think Stroll's going to come back past. We're on the wrong tyre. We are on the wrong tyre. We've got to hope that they just run out though. 60, I mean we've got 77%. When do we start the push? Or will later on. We are going backwards. We're going to drop back down to 12th it seems. So annoying. That safety car difference has absolutely cost us. As now, Lawson on the back. Now, he is in a Red Bull, of course. A Red Bull is a lot faster than our car, clearly. And so are the cars around us. But here he comes. I'm still going to just bide my time because I'm going to use these later laps to absolutely push. As, can we hold on? Doesn't matter. DRS is triggered, and that is him through. So, I mean, let's see what happens here, because 10 laps to go. Softs are really running out. Mediums are coming down as well. So anything could happen still. So, Hulkenberg has found pace now. Them soft tyres that we said of Albon's are absolutely struggling. So are the mediums are not looking too good with 4 laps to go. Now, we're going to get a lot better traction. We need to make this move on the soft tyres. We go to the left-hand side. Look at the difference. And that is Hulkenberg back through. So now we're into 11th. Now we got to hunt down Stroll. 3 seconds away on some used tyres. We got to keep the aggression up. Keep the ERS. Can we now get through? Look at that. We are 1 second quicker on the last lap than Stroll. Go to neutral. Can we hunt this down? What about Bortoleto? He's in a no man's land at the minute. And he's not going to be really finding too much either. But we got to try and catch up. With 4 laps to go, I'm going to go attack him. We've got to find some pace somewhere here. Because there is chance for a point. And I think Alonso is tumbling down on the mediums. But it's still 3.9 seconds. We're still a long way away. 3.4. With 4 laps to go still. That gap is tumbling all the time. 3.3 now. As we try and empty the tank. Down into the 2s. We are catching. Here in Japan. The race is on for points. 2.8 seconds is the gap. 2.7. Bit of ERS down the straight. Try and give us that push advantage. These are going to start fighting up front ahead of us. But DRS is going to help them along as well. As we go down the straight, ERS is empty though. 2.3 seconds is now the gap. What can we do in this race? Can we catch these? 2 seconds is the gap. Could we get our first point of the season? Into 1.8. It's coming down all the time. As their medium tyres start to really drop off. Have we actually gone for the right idea? 1.6. Here we come. Bortoleto is catching as well. 2.8 to 2.9. And that gap is a tumbler. 1.4 now. These two fighting up front is helping us draw closer every time. I'm going to save. Well, we're going on to lap 52. Going to just save it down the straight as well. Still 1.5 seconds is the gap as Stroll and Alonso teammates come back together. And we still are catching. 1.2. Are we going to get DRS this lap? Are we going to get into DRS range? Obviously, both cars are going to have DRS against Stroll. But we're probably coming up to our last chance. Now I'm going to deploy. Bortoleto can't really get any higher. We're going to try and close down the straight. 8 tenths, 9 tenths. It's going to be coming down all the time here. Final lap. We're on for a point if we can get past one of these. Bortoleto's made a mistake. I don't care. But he ran wide. Here we go. Maybe our last chance. As we try and hunt down the Aston Martin. It is all over the place. Let's top up again. We've got to use this last sector. Now there's a gap. Now there is a gap. Go. High. Overtake aggression. Can we get through? Is there any chance for a move? As we go to the outside at the hairpin. Traction will be better. We're into the points. We're into the points. And can we get 9th? Can we get 9th? What a race. Here we come. We're using everything. Russell's won. Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, your top 5. Here we go. Out of the final corners. It is going to be our first points of the season. Nico Hülkenberg coming home in P10. What a race from him. I tell you what, it should have been P9 if it wasn't for the safety car.
Race felt quite good actually.
But well done to the team. Well done. Their efforts have been rewarded. And remember, we have got big upgrades coming that are just not ready yet.
And with the race wrapped up,
come on.
the Sauber driver heads back to the garage.
A 14th place finish today, no points and lots to think about.
Now I am happy with Bortoleto's run. Hülkenberg started 10th, finished 10th. Bortoleto dropped 5 places. But we know he's the weaker driver. He isn't as good in wet conditions and on long runs. So I kind of have to expect that he's not going to be as fast. And he made a mistake towards the end as well. But we do get our first points of the season. It's a huge point as well because it promotes Kick Sauber into 7th ahead of Alpine as well. And that puts us into our board expectation for finishing position. And we have got, look at that, pit stop times, lovely. P4 and P6 moves us up 2 places to 6th as well. 2.5s, that is nice. And both hit the contract. That's £1 million or $1 million bonus as well. Which is great news for us then. So, whoa, that was what we needed. We've got some parts to change. We've got the underfloor that we've got 3 of left now. And we've got to look forward to our car parts that are coming. That was a big race. And where are they coming? It looks like we don't get them in the next... We're going to have some parts. What we'll show you. Major votes. Never too bothered about the underfloor overhaul or the major suspension. I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for the underfloor overhaul. So, we have got a manufacturing complete. Tour centre's upgraded as well to level 5. Now, we're going to be ready on the weekend as we'll get to our practice sessions for Bahrain next. That's where we'll leave this. But hopefully, you'll be able to see that we've got some car parts. We should have our first chassis available. We'll show you in the next video this as well. We've got one. And look at the improvement we are about to get. That is beautiful. So we're going to have one of them. We've got a suspension due for both as well. We've got side pods not ready yet either. And we're going to be looking good as we head to Bahrain in the next race.